up here. Right? It goes up here. It needs to be nerfed. It's probably overtuned. Okay? Cool. Consistent. This means you can consistently place highly and get kills, and maybe your routing has a lot of variations. Cool? Cool. Alright, cool. Viable. This character is good, but it is not as consistent as, well, characters that would be inconsistent. You have some issues within your kit. Maybe routing, it may be having agency, it may be early potential, it might not scale as well, it might not be, you can't run away. You might be having some sort of issue. Somewhat viable. These are probably more of the niche variations of characters. Things like, I don't know, fucking know. I don't even know what to give an example right now. Shuriken Engine, which is probably wrong. It might be up. But things like that, right? You can play, you can have success, but it might not be as consistent as something else. Unviable. This is probably where we're putting Inetkai. Alright, cool. Unviable is just as bad. It probably needs to be buffed. I don't know what's going on anymore. Have fun? Oh, I'm gonna have fun, alright. And you're gonna hear from me after this, alright, young lady? Alright, I'm sorry, my bad, not young lady. Grandma. Alright. Now, chat, before, if you enjoyed this content, I gotta chill, you know? If you're watching this on YouTube, you better sub right now or I'm banning Moo. If you're watching this live, as you probably are because it's fucking live, you should sub to this channel and follow it anyways. Cool? Cool? Alright, awesome. What did I even do? You know what you did. Alright, so cool. I'm gonna just go in order up here. We have Emma. Emma is interesting. So Emma has been buffed massively. They added 2 charges to her ultimate, and now they're buffing her early game again. I don't even know. Like, I'm going to make the prediction and say she's probably going to be up here. I'm going to make this, like, I think a good Emma's going to be up here. I think she's probably going to be very overpowered. But I think she's right now just very consistent. And this character is really, really strong. People suck at her, and they're, like, really bad. Like, really bad at her. But this character can rat jam. She can run. She can go through, like, literally the most disgusting of spaces. She can do the hedge in, of, like, teleporting over anything. She has good CC in her kit. Her damage is really solid. And the 2 ultimate charges are, wow, cherry on top. Great character. Oh. Wait, no. I gotta save Shoichi for later. Yeah, he's yeah. We'll do it right after ROZZI. Right at the bottom. Alright. Zahir. Well, I can't rate one of Zahir about the other. Where the fuck's the other Zahir? It's right here. So, Zahir is really good. Shocking, I know. Buff formers Zahir are really good, but here's the thing. Zahir has been changed a lot over time. Before, he used to be this champion who would kind of just get an enhanced knockup, throw down his ultimate and caltrops, and he would one-shot you. He doesn't really do that anymore, but he still has an insane consistent damage from a very long range and has enough self-peel. If you're good as Zahir, you're probably absolutely destroying people. So, to help with that, what you're doing is, you're probably gonna go... Wait, what? Oh, you're probably gonna go, Throw. Throw is probably the better one. Throw is literally just a way better weapon. It has insane stats on it. It's getting buffed again. The weapon you want to go, which is Redeeming Marble. Take an extra fucking 4% on it. I don't understand why, but it is. So it's very, very strong. Cool. This is what's happening. Shuriken is viable. It is not as good as Throw at the moment. It is just different zoning. What you get for giving up Throw is that you get better routing and you get caltrops, which caltrops are very good, but they don't exactly work out the way you would hope so. Okay, Sissela. Man, I don't think Sissela's OP. Because I am happy with seeing her get tuned down. I'm just annoyed with why she's strong. Because Sissela is actually incredibly strong. Throw Sissela is very strong in multiple variations. The strongest way to play Sissela right now is just by playing her as a crit throw based character, and it's just not very fun or exciting, and sadly it's just kind of the way she is. She's meant to be played as a poke mage, it just kind of doesn't work out. Now, Shuriken Sissela on the other hand is actually not as bad as people give credit for. It is still very strong, but the problem is you are still on Shuriken. Mizroy is a person who's been playing a ton of Zilla. I never personally ran into him while ranked ladder. It was like popping a lot. But normal ladder, he does really, really well. And he kind of just overperforms on the character. So I could just base on the 1% alone, but my personal opinion is that, you know, Shuriken is probably very rarely contested. He probably doesn't have much of an issue getting his routing down. I've seen what his build is. It looks very easy to make. It looks like he probably doesn't run into many issues, and Cicella is one of those characters which really, no matter, what's it called? It's just like, no matter what you do, you're just kind of going to be doing good because you're on Cicella. So I don't know. I think I want to say, I'm kind of Celestia where I feel like Amp is probably better. Amp is probably the better way to play it. Caltrops are really, really good. And it's probably going to be a thing you want to go if you could do better on it. But yeah, crit is just brain dead. You just fucking Q at your feet and you're just like, yeah, there goes half your health. So yeah, it's pretty solid. I'm probably going to say this is up here and consistent. It's still really good. You could probably play any version of Cicella right now. She's still a good character. Hyunwoo. We're just going literally by whatever the hell we see here. So we got Tafa, we got Glove. Alright. Hyun is interesting. So I don't want to put him somewhat viable because I think he is viable. Viable, like he is strong. Gloves. Here's the thing with Hyun. His damage early game is really high. It's hard to set up against people who have more than 2 brain cells. If you are able to get the ball rolling, you can do quite good. But you also have active to the best late game in the form of glove skill. Glove skill is amazing. Hyun is dumb, yes. But Hyun is just kinda okay. I don't think he's amazing. I don't think he's even particularly good. I think he's just okay. I think he is just somewhat viable. Somewhat viable? No, I mean, it's kind of what I think. So noob, Hyun is busted, but when you're not about to get his bad. When you're against players that know how to play around Hyun, Hyun just kind of doesn't really do a whole lot. But here's the thing, Nora. I know you want to hear. It's a go here. Glove is fine. Tonfa is probably more here. You still have Glove. You can still... Alright, so here's the thing, right? The way the current metagame is shaped is turned into a way where really the best way to play the game is to avoid fights and you get to actually... You get to farm up animals. And you go for like RNG pieces. Hyun is a character you can literally put any stat on him and he does good. Literally any fucking stat, he does fine. You can start the game, you can find a corpse, and you can find a full lamp build, you're fine. You can find a full tank build, you're fine. You can find crit, like you get my point. Like, he's just fine. Glove is still the best weapon skill in the game by far. Glove 14 is stupid. Yeah. So he kind of just still has that going for him. And of course, he has CC immunity, and he's able to run away very effectively. And especially if you just tank up him, you're not really going to die in Hyun unless you really want to if you play the right build. So it's just, you know, it's that type of deal. That's how I feel about him. Aya. Yeah, where my eyes at? Where my AR? I'm not finding AR. Where the fuck is AR? Alright, over here. Alright, so Pistol Aya. Ooh. Pistol Aya has not been played at all lately. Pistol Aya was before it was on Elegance and it was kind of doing some work. You know, we had Electronic Blaster, which was doing a lot of work. And now we just kind of don't see Aya anymore. Aya got the ulti rework, which is really good for her. It was a very, very good change. And they've been buffing Amp and they've been buffing Pistol Amp scaling in general. So Aya is still pretty damn good, I feel. But nobody's really playing her in the slightest. Y'all feel that, chat? Nobody plays the character. There literally isn't like anybody playing like just basic Aya. Like Pistol Aya, I feel like it might be because it's more because it's not weak. Every time I played like Pistol Aya, I'm just like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's just good. But it's boring, but it's good. So, I'm gonna say that Pistol is probably... I want to say it's probably would be in the consistent tier, but Aya does struggle a little bit. I am gonna put her in the viable tier. Mostly, this is probably more due to not really anybody's playing her. So, that's kind of where I'm gonna put her. I feel like if people play her more, people get more routing done. I don't know. She'd probably be up in consistent because her damage is there. Her numbers are fine. She is able to get away from situations. She is very hard to catch once weapon skill is online. And she kind of can just pop you. She can do consistent damage. She can go hybrid. She can go amp. She has a ton of routing variations. Aya in general is just usually pretty good. But just nobody's really playing her. Yeah. AR Aya. Ooh. AR is interesting. I don't think AR is that cracked. So the issue with AR is its routing kind of sucks. And it's really, really hard to survive to the late game. But if you're able to get it online, it is pretty much one of the strongest, if not the strongest, in the game. Because you can just straight up stat check people, especially with AR. You're kind of like the Zodia Aya, which has been that way forever. It kind of had a little bit of a pop-up for a bit. But what ends up happening is that not a lot. Like, it wasn't... One, it's boring, so people don't play it. And two, there isn't like a whole lot going on for it. Routing just sucks. That's kind of what happened. So if you're able to get online, it's really good. If you aren't, it just... You kind of just die a lot. I'm going to put it in the somewhat viable, mostly just because the routing sucks. It's still good. If you're able to get online, it's really good. But his routing, it's not too hot. So when you're able to get online, great. If not, it's just not too hot. Sniper Aya. Ooh. Sniper is interesting. Sniper got a massive change. Sniper... Alright, so you have two... We have a couple variations. You're seeing TAC 50. You're seeing fucking Deadly Ray. You're seeing Polaris. Which I think are all fine weapons. Snipers are really easy to build, and they have a lot of early game aggression. Sniper skill got buffed a lot. It's getting changes again. It's also getting buffed. I don't want to say it's somewhat viable. The routing is really easy to make on it. You could tank Eye up really fast, and you probably are going to have one of the safest early games. And you could probably just kill nearly most matchups for free early on into the game. So it is a little interesting. You do have some routing variations. So I am curious as to where this will solidify. I think for now, because it is still relatively new, I think I will for now. I think I'm going to put on viable. I think it's definitely got a lot better. And I think you can take Sniper Eye and do good for it. The Sniper skill's got a lot better itself. It's not amazing, and it's still situational. But the damage itself is kind of hard to ignore. I think you can do really, really well with Sniper Eye right now. That is my take. Chat, what's going on here? Y'all fall asleep? I know it's like we have like a lot of like eyes of anticipation. Did y'all fall asleep in here? We just listen? Just taking notes? I feel like I'm in a lecture hall right now. I feel like I'm gonna give you a lecture. Just put that in a B and I will listen. My master noted. Tom, this is my second class I'm in. I see. Tom says chatting or chat, do the lecture. Noted. Kiss homie. I'm not taking notes. I need to test. I need to take some notes, dude. Just wait for Silvia and Viable. Alright, I'll be real. I don't think anybody actually goes on unviable. Quite honestly. I don't think there's a single character or weapon here that's unviable right now. Alright. Dial in. So we have nunchucks, so we have glove. Dude, Dial-In has been pretty good for a long time. She's getting a change this upcoming patch, which might make her better. Okay, so here's the thing with Dial-In, right? Dial-In scaling is one of the best in the game. That is like the fucking best. Her attack power scaling is great. Glove skill 14, insane. Dial-In cracked. And she's getting slightly more attack power per level coming this upcoming patch, which is good. I am curious to see where that puts her. That's because I'm Trump. This is solos only. This is about solos. I'm curious to see where that puts her. But I still think she's very, very good. I don't think she's insane. I think she's a consistent character. And she can ride out games very well. Because, like, really all you gotta just do is build fucking Bloodwing Knuckle and you just run away. If you really want to. It's very annoying. And it's kind of hard to deal with. And you just farm up a Storm. That's kind of what Dial-In's good at. She's still good. But she fits the metagame perfectly. She's just... Nobody plays her because she's just not very exciting. So I'm going to put Dial-In at, like, consistent. Nunchucks. is it's more of like kind of a meme. The weapon skill is kind of whatever. It really doesn't do a whole lot. Amp itself is fine. It's not bad. And I don't know. I don't know, man. Nunchuck, I wouldn't put in consistent because it's not consistent. The damage is okay. And like it could be viable. It's just a routing variation. Like Vibro Nunchucks is just, it's just better for the game. Most top dialers are running Nunchucks. It's just better for early kills. It's literally just for early kills. That's the only thing that you have. It's just crit routing. Crit routing is stupidly easy to make. That's what it is. There's just crit routing is easy. That's quite literally all it is. So that's what's going on with Vibro. I think it can be viable. I don't think it's bad. You go Smiting Dragon. You go Vibro. The problem is with those two is that your routing is literally one part of the map and that's it. Which kind of fucking sucks. You can't escape that one part of the map. So, I don't know. I think it is viable. I don't think this is like subtle. I think it's just kind of more than viable too. I think it's just okay. I think you can play Vibro. I think you can be fine. I think Dylan's base kit is good enough to where you can still do a good job of her. But it's just really not played. I'm going to put her in viable. I think it's okay. Jukai. Alright, so we got two Jukais. Where's the homie at? We got dagger, we got spear and dagger. Alright, so Spear Kai. Spear Kai has been kind of doing the same thing it's been doing for literally ever. It kind of just still really fucking good. But here's where the sad part of the metagame kind of comes in. So Spear has been... Spear, while still being really good, and is still, but you only have one zone you go to. You have to go between factory, cemetery, ports, all the usual shit you've been doing forever to make your Feng Shui hot. The weapon is still insane. It's still the best data weapon you can for the character, but the metagame doesn't really give a shit about that. The metagame wants you to be more consistent with running away. You want to be safe for your character. Jukai's escape isn't actually all that great when he's in a bad position. So what helps alleviate that is dagger skill. Spear skill does help in some contexts, but dagger is actually just more reliable in general. And it's just not that bad for getting a little bit extra burst along with your kit. The problem is you lose timing when you go dagger. Mount Slicer does take a little bit longer to make, which is kind of just the regular one. Carnawan, I know you got fucking moves here. Carnawan is just kind of early griefing. That's literally all it. But what's it called? It's literally just the... What? Carnawan is the same padding? No, it's not. Chapel... Alright, I'm not gonna have this argument. Chapel Cemetery is not the same argument as Factory Mouth Slicer? Oh. Yeah, that one's fine. Well, you got a bunch of places you could go for Mouth Slicer. Besides the point, though. You have different round you could do for those two. Karn is faster than... No, you don't. Okay, you're losing context. Maybe chill. Chill the fuck out. Alright. So, Carnawan isn't, what's it called? Not much I thought. Carnawan itself is just kind of more of an early green one, but it doesn't scale at all. No, it doesn't do anything. It's literally just you get some early kills and it might work in like lobbies that like don't respect anything that's coming out with griefing. But you obviously are going to go in the context of what actually is played in a higher setting, which is going to be, you know, Mount Slicer. You run into that one dude once a Carnawan, you're not going to run into him again in the same lobby. You're not going to pop to it. It's as simple as that. So what kind of ends up happening is that Jukais right now kind of just end up taking dagger to run away a lot. So if you look at the Korean Jukais, they end up like just taking dagger a lot of the time. Like dagger is just what they've been taking. Spear is still really good. Like really, really good. And they're both just viable. They're both good. So I think I'm going to put them both in viable. That's kind of where they both belong. You can play both. They're both really good. Jukai is still Jukai. He's very safe. His routing's obscenely fast. He's literally a tank just for building amp items and just abusing his passive. That's quite literally all he needs to do. So, yeah. Fiora. Ooh, this was fun. So last time I put Rapier, Fiora, and unviable, and then immediately we had a tournament. There's like 50 Rapier Fioras. So that was really fun. I'm missing a Fiora weapon. Alright. So we have Spear, two-handed, and Rapier. Alright. So, the context, Spear is still the best. Sorry, gonna say it. Spear is still the best weapon. Spear is still the best weapon. It still does the exact same thing Rapier is gonna do most of the time. It's still just really fucking good. Nothing's really changed about it. If you're going any weapon, you're probably still just going Spear. So if I'm gonna say pick something, it's probably gonna be Spear. It has early game, like the early game snowball from Spear is just God. It is obscene. Spear of ROZZI, yeah, because of routing for Spear, you make that Spear and you make like your entire crit build as well. And it just scales really well, and it's just really good. Volti is kind of cracked. Volti has been performing very well, and I'll get to that in a moment. So Spear is just kind of going to go to Viable. Spear's been doing really fucking good. It's the same thing it's been always doing. It just kind of stat checks you. It murders you early, and it literally just continues murdering you late into the game. It's very good. Two-handed. Two-handed is mostly... It's not really played. Alright, the reality of two-handed is if you're going two-handed, just go two-handed anything else. So it's more of a, like, it's just a worse option of going something else. It's kind of what it is, you know? So that's kind of two-handed Fiora. Two-handed Fiora is probably, like, just, it might be here, really, but, like, it's a worse version of something else I'm putting in somewhat viable. And then Rapier is also pretty damn good, as we saw. Rapier actually overperformed in tournaments quite a bit. It did really good. It was holding his own very well, and along with like that same follow up on the same point before Spear, where he had like a lot of early game aggression. What's it called? You saw that Rapier was actually doing a lot. Rapier was actually doing a lot of work. So I don't know. I don't think Rapier is absolutely insane, but there are a lot of situations where Rapier is able to just straight up snowball a game. Very similar to how you see Spear do it. I think both Viable not consistent with Spear. Both Hospital and Chapel are very dangerous next to Yuki, Iso, and Nadine. One Nadine's in Chapel. Wait, what? Why is there Nadine's in Hospital Chapel? Iso, Yuki, by the time they're online, you're going to be online too. You're all on this, all online at the same pace, and you do more early damage. Also, you have a lot of agency in fights. Fiora's dash is obscenely long, and she has a slow. If she touches you, you're dead. But yeah, Rapier Fiora is still quite good. I do think it is worse a Spear. I think if you're picking any, you're probably going to pick Spear. It is still just the best out of the three. But Rapier is another option to consider, and it is not a bad one in the slightest. It actually did quite good for itself. The problem with it is that you do lose your defensive options with the Spear skill, so... I'm gonna just say go consistent. It's good. It's not bad. Volsoletto proved otherwise. So, it's still a good option. Isn't 3 flashes better? No, Spear in general is just better. The slow is fucking massive. Like, the slow is actually just massive. You just kill people off it. How's that on the nerf list? Because she's not overpowered. She's good, but she's not overpowered. Alright. Hedgen. Bow Hedgen. God, this should be right here. But she did just get nerfed. So I am very hesitant to put that there. Because she is quite literally getting nerfed. I'm probably just gonna put Bow Hedgen in consistent, because that's probably exactly where she's gonna be. Nerf again? No. I don't really know yet until we see the metagame like actually like work around her and see what happens. But pretty much for those who don't understand like why was she banned for ERBS yesterday? No. Just put it in OP. It's OP as of right now. Because it is. It's fucking obscene for right now. And say it's for this bash? Okay, that's fair. But yeah. What's it called? Hedgen is obscene right now. She is getting nerfed. She is getting nerfed. The E change is massive. The E nerf is huge. But right now, at this current time, if you're queuing up the game right now, she's fucking broken as hell. We can't talk about right now. We anticipate. Well, you're losing 7 seconds to your E. You kind of have a pretty good idea of, you know, what's gonna happen. And for that character, no, she's gonna move like literally. She's probably going from here to here or staying up here. Now with that context, where's Shuriken? No, you're not down here. So Shuriken had the Band-Aid philosophy of, hey, we don't actually know how to balance our game, so we're actually going to make it so this character doesn't take enough damage, and we're going to say, fuck Shuriken in general. We just, you know, don't care about Shurikens. We're just going to say, you know, this character is, like, just kind of good. So, Shuriken, Hedgen is not bad. It's still Hedgen. You can run away for forever. You're going to build a tank. You're going to essentially sit there And man, you're just gonna sit there and tank everything. Because you take 10% less damage, and you do a ton of damage as well. Like, your damage is okay. It's not bad. You can still pick up early kills, and you can run away for the rest of the game. So, personally, I think Dragon Engine is good. It's not OP. It's not consistent. It's probably kind of maybe around here. It used to be down here. I think it's here. It might be here. It's just still hedging, which is the kind of... Like, it's kind of the big thing here is it's still hedging. Which is why I put here. I'd say somewhat, yeah, that's more where I'm leaning towards personally. But like, I think it could be here if people played it. Which is kind of what I'm leaning towards. If people played it, I think it would just be up here. Averse OP, please. Averse is very, very good. But hedging in general is very good. Adriana. I think she's viable. I don't think I need to really explain this one too much. I feel like people have been shitting on Adriana way too much. She is not the most consistent character in the world. But... she is a very, very strong when you get online. She has very clear power spikes in her ultimate. She has a lot of bursts coming down from her kits. It's just bursts. That's all it is. But your consistent damage does have some issues. What's it called? The other thing that goes on there is your scaling kind of hurts if you don't transition. So you do need to transition out of items. You do need to get the Queen of Hearts. You can't really end the game out of Queen of Hearts. Like, it's really fucking hard. If you have Wickline, your character is insane. Like, one of the fucking scariest characters. It's like a watered down Cicella, but it's still there. And one charge of all level 6, yeah, I know. But like, if we're talking about what's it called? What's his name? The Korean Adriana. He's been running the same route forever. The smoke bomb like beach up the factory thing, and you get like it's a 4-zoner, and you get fucking what you get like your entire build. Hyuni, okay, yeah, Hyuni. That guy literally does the same route forever. He literally just kills everybody. It's like. It's really good. It's a same really good build. You can also do Flammables build, which is also very strong. If you know your power specs on Adriana, you're probably going to be fine. Like, Adriana's power specs are pretty good. And she has a lot of power in her kit. It's not a bad kit anymore. She's fine. She's not cracked. She's not terrible. She's a good character. Alright, cool. Heart. Ooh. Heart is just kind of okay. Honestly. Like, I don't really... There's nothing interesting to say about Heart. Heart's been kind of the same thing she's been for forever. She's just kind of okay. She's just viable. Like, that's kind of it. It's just there. Nothing to change about her. She's good. Like, there's been no changes. ISO. Ooh, ISO is really interesting. ISO is a character where I'm like, dude, this character is really fucking strong. He's way too safe. If you're a good ISO, it's really hard to die on. And if you are able to survive like the halfway point of the game, you're probably sitting with like 20 million traps. And you're one of the safest characters in the late game because it's just fucking really hard to catch you. And on Nerf where they took out like 20 SP from his Z, yeah, that's not helping anything. He's still gonna run away like a little shit. He's kind of just a cockroach. He's really, really safe. Also, he gets extra trap mastery from his ulti. So he's really good. And this game right now is just kind of like, hey, you walk backwards, you gain reward. So ISO is very, very consistent. But personally, I don't think I want to see him nerfed. They did some small changes on him. I don't really feel like it's oppressive. I think he's a very, very strong character. But not oppressive in the slice. I think he can play like along with any of these. I think he'll be just fine. And I think, honestly, this goes for both of them. I think both builds are just fine. Both builds are consistent. Both builds are good. So you guys are probably like, why are you saying AR ISO is consistent and AR Aya is somewhat viable? AR ISO's routes is literally just better. And his early game damage is really fucking strong. That is the big difference between these two. You're going to go to crit route with the ISO. You're going more of an ENAD build with Aya, and you're trying to farm for that late game. ISO is happy going ENAD or crit, either or. It's pretty much the same route, but his early damage can straight up one-shot people in some scenarios. So it's very, very strong. And he scales pretty. Zhao Zhe is a player who played a ton. Like a ton of AR ISO, and he like absolutely destroyed lobbies. Man is just feared. You just don't go Doc because of him. But yeah, man is... character's really, really good. Also just safer. Jackie. Where is my last Jackie? Boom. Now you're Yuki. Alright, we have the 3 Jackies. So Jackie has been lost. Jackie's been kind of... I hate the reason I have to put this. Like, I quite literally hate the reason for this so much. Oh, you must get Jackie dual blades? Alright. So I hate the reason why it's like good. So Jackie is consistent. Jackie's very consistent. Now, like, it upsets me so much. Because the reason why it's consistent, all three of them, they're all fucking fine. But it's because she can run the fuck away forever. Literally forever. That is the whole purpose of it. Jackie has the ability. You see Jackie's, you probably have noticed this, right? Alright, here, I'll use Sun as an example. I'm sorry, Sun, this might be kind of abusive. So I am anybody. I have all of the items are no items. This is Jackie, right? Me and Jackie just saw each other. That's what happens every time. Every single time. She just runs away. That's what happens every single time. Jackie can also abuse every single Mithra item in the game. Is Hygiene already getting good enough? Yeah, but I'm talking the context of this patch. People, what the fuck? Not again. Not the people, what the fucks. Not the people, what the fucks. Shout out about Jackie in the tier below. I mean, Pie Master, you can't really disagree with the fact that Jackie can run away forever. You can grab kills, and what's it called? And you can, like, you get early kills and you can place high. You put Axe in Viable and the other two consistent. Really? I think Axe is just fine as well. I mean, it definitely has like the least ratting skill of it, but you can... Did y'all forget about Parachute or... Like, I know Harp's nuts, because Harp is nuts. But Parachute is like, it's still good. You wouldn't put two-handed and consistent? Why not? I'm actually curious. Two-handed cannot get wins, but you can run. You get third party some kills. You have just a ton of agency. I agree. Two-handed can't get kills. Two-handed also Ratchat's worse? Why? You max W. You use max W and you run away. Like, what was it? The ERCS solo qualifiers. All you guys were just running two-handed and running away the entire time. Like real talk, it's just kind of crazy. I personally think they're all just consistent, just for the fact of you can play them. The routing are good. The routing is fine. You can change up the routing as fitted, and you can run away and you can use transition items really well. Mithra really is used. You can use Meteorite. You can use Moonstones. And what's it called? Jackie sucks. You can put them wherever you want. I mean, yeah. I think in terms of combat, Jackie is just kind of like. But, you know, it's kind of hard to say that Jackie's just not a good character and she could just run away forever. Sally, she still works, and the reason why she works sucks. Alright, dual swords. We gotta talk about this for a second. Two swords is just, it kind of fucking sucks. There you go. It just doesn't do anything. You can play, the best way to play dual swords is amp dual swords, and at that point, you're playing a watered down Yuki. Cool? Cool. Alright. Nadine. Ooh. Nadine is fun. Alright, so Nadine is the feast or famine character. You know why I love how these tiers are named? Because I can never in the life of me put Nadine in consistent. Because Nadine is not consistent. Nadine is a character who tries to RNG everything. Like, she is the definition of a feast or famine character. She can snowball a game out of fucking control, or she could die like 18. Like, that's just kind of how it works. Nadine is very scary in the right hands, but she quite literally just RNGs everything. Any RNG item you think of, she could use it. Very well. She could use it early on. She doesn't care, she just wants stats. She just wants to be a giant stat stick early on, she just wants to kill people. But yeah. So yeah, that's kind of crossbow. Bow is definitely the worst of the two options. It's kind of more somewhat viable, not viable. You can go auto attack bow, but at that point you're giving up crossbow skill, which really is one of your only forms of self peel. You don't want to do that. It's not your wisest idea. But you can go amp. Amp is kind of spicy. It's not bad. You could also go auto attack bow, which is also not bad. Bow skill is really good, but Nadine doesn't exactly have a lot of self peel tools. You know, so all of these guys up here could just kind of murder bow at that point. So that's kind of Dean. Kiara. Huh. This is interesting. I don't know how I feel about Kiara. I don't. Because, truth be told, I don't think she's OP. I don't think she's been doing anything too crazy recently. I think because, what's it called? There has been a lot of crit people come up. As you're seeing, there's kind of a lot of like auto attack based characters coming up, and she's not doing too out against those. If you get murdered early, but you know, you think Kiara's the worst character in the game? You're playing against really bad Kiaras. No, Kiara's really good. And she gets creeped early even just a little bit. Yeah, but then Kiara can run like really well, like really fucking well. So Kiara is still very consistent, and you can still path for Kiara very well. Her ulti, Kiara's only good if she's ahead. That's just false. That's literally false. Why is sniper IS so low? Viable is low? That's not low. I do want to say, yeah, I'm pretty sure Kiara is just consistent. You watch all your videos? Recent videos? Nice content? Hey, I appreciate that, real D-Jack. Welcome to the game. Welcome to the game, homie. Welcome to the stream, buddy. There's also solos, yeah. Jenny won a tournament on it before the big buffs. Don't make me say it. Don't make me say it. The people in that tournament weren't exactly... Jenny was probably the best player in that tournament by far. You're referring to... What's it called? Casanova's tournament. Jenny was just the best player. That's just kind of how it is. You put Jenny in a tournament with like a lot of people, Jenny's probably gonna be the person who wins. Jenny's just one of the best players in the game, period. Was the Homecoming Sarah also in that tournament? Were they? I don't think they were. I killed Jenny in that tournament? I think you're the only person who killed Jenny, right? Homecoming was playing Cicella. I think that's all you need to hear. I think Jenny was sweating and everybody else wasn't. Yeah, I also had 4 kills before the final game. Yeah. I don't know. I'm very biased towards Jenny, but I think Jenny had like an unfavorable showing in ERCS due to him just not playing. But when you talk about like, I don't know. Show me the full roster from that tournament. Do you recognize half those names? It's like kind of, it's kind of like the real question, right? Jenny knows how, like Jenny's a very aggressive early player. He's gonna be playing a very aggressive thing. He did a smart choice. So I put my money on Jenny a lot of times. Jenny's just a great player. Not saying anybody, of course. I'm just giving my personal take, dude. Homecoming's amazing. Biomaster's amazing. Nobody player check in. Bin-Bins, you're a great player. Were you playing AR though? Pretty sure he could just farm you. At that point. Why is AR rare so low? AR is just hard to get online. It is a serious promo solos, just solos. Bad player here. Were you in that tournament, told? There's always have to play AR, so yeah, AR is just better. Only yours? I'm not talking about my tournaments. My tournaments are for fun. My tournaments, I don't give a shit where you are. This was Casanova's tournament. I believe there's a small prize pool behind it. Jenny just bought Sniper and like swept the lobby. Alright, cool. That being said, Magnus. Magnus is gonna be quite interesting. Okay, I don't know exactly where I'm putting Magnus. Magnus kind of has a Jackie factor where he can run the hell away. I don't think he's consistent. Damn, thanks for your recognition. You're the only person who plays... what's it called? You're the only person who plays AR Aya, and you do it very, very well. Yo, Cast Cross, thank you for the tier 1, friend. Welcome to the Aya call, buddy. So I am very curious to where you would put Magnus. Magnus, but nobody plays that Magnus. The people who are playing Magnus right now are playing him auto attack, and I believe that's on both servers. I have to double check the ones on KR, but I know there's some that are just like just straight up rat chat. So I am curious as to where you put him. I don't think... Maybe Amp's insane. I haven't seen enough of it. Maybe it's just good. I don't know. But right now, rank 1, rank 3 right now is an Amp Magnus, man. That is spicy as fuck. That is pretty spicy. You see, both Mags are consistent. That's the problem, right? I don't want to put Magnus away from consistent, but the problem I have with it is the fact of I just hate the reason why. Because the reason is that he could just run a fucking away. It's like, you know, you put him in a bad situation, he's gonna QE and just press bike, you know? Like, this is kind of how it works. Which is kind of how it goes. Because I think Magnus is better than these. That's kind of what I'm looking at, right? I think Magnus is better than these, and I think he's on par with this. And it works for either weapon, to be quite honest. But the reason is definitely more of a... What's it called? Is more of a... The fact that place... You can just get a couple kills and you can place early. Also, Magnus' early game strength is obscenely strong. He's impossible to chase down? He's impossible to chase down in certain matchups. Sniper Aya viable. Yes, Sniper Aya is viable. It is very good. Who's next? Yuki. Alright. So, I mean, it's no surprise where I want to put Yuki. He's consistent, obviously. Yuki has been kinda overperforming, I feel. Yuki is just really, really fucking strong. I don't know which variation is better. Right now, Yuki is kind of what they're doing is they're building, what's it called? Heaven's Will. Because I don't actually know the name. Tuan Tien, Turtle Shell Sword, or fucking Plasma Sword. And they've both been doing really, really well. But Yuki has way too much agency. His fucking... He has an automatic stun on his Q. You can run away from everything. His ultimate's really strong. He has a disarm on his Z. This character is a little overstated at the moment. He does kinda everything, I feel. And man, it is really, really fucking strong. Like, really strong. Also, his build's like obscenely fast. Also, the problem is, now we've talked about Dual Sword, Liger's Heart, and Yuki in particular has been buffed a ton with it. So now you just kind of get one-shotted through Rampage a lot of the time. And the build's also obscenely fast, and you're actually pretty tanky while doing it. So I don't know exactly where I feel this should go, but it's either going to be... It's going to be consistent, or please nerf. I think right now, I want to see... I think Yuki's kind of just up here in terms of solo. This is kind of where I see Yuki right now. I don't know if I would feel like Dual Sword's up there. Because again, Dual Sword, the problem with Dual Sword, the only real problem with Dual Sword right now is that you need Rampage. What's it called? Is literally just Rampage. But I'm gonna say consistent. I really feel like it's at the cusp of being here too, honestly. Like, it's really fucking strong. But I think I'm gonna keep it consistent. Just for more of a, like... It's gonna need more time. It feels like I've been playing a lot. But right now, 2 and it just feels really fucking strong in solos. Like, really, really strong. Who do we have next? Silvia. So we have next. We have Silvia, we have Lennox, we have ROZZI, we got Shoichi. Sure consist? Okay, Mizboy, I'm curious. Cause I talked about you in context here, but I don't know. You're the one who plays them. And like literally, it was only based off you because you're the only person who plays it. I saw your build on your stream, and I saw that it looked consistent. It looked easy. I can't really give a fair opinion. It would be that close to thrust it. I feel like every time I ran into your full build, and you've gotten like 7 kills or some shit. Now I get lobbies aren't like insane right now, but like. I am just curious because it feels because Shuriken is fast. Alright. So Silvia. Silvia is one of the best solo picks you could probably have right now. But Tom, her win rate's low. Her win rate's low because people kinda suck with her. This character is easily one of the best rat jammers of the game. She can run away super, super, super easy. And her damage off like really, really well. I do agree with Celeste saying here. Her damage does fall off. But her early and mid-game pressure is pretty insane. But again, like saying you can't close out a game when traps are an option doesn't really feel like an excuse. Because you can just get traps at that point. You know? Like when traps are in the game, you can't really say that. Like, you know? So as long as you can place high and get a couple kills early, which Silvia can do, and you're very good at running away, the character is going to be good. So Silvia is A tier. Like Silvia is consistent. I don't know where the hell, but she's somewhere up here. This is not ordered. This is not gonna get ordered, but it's somewhere up here. She's not OP. She doesn't need to be nerfed, I think. I think she's maybe a slight tune down in her early game, but it's good. Is this for squad or solo? Lennox. Dude, I wish I could give you a proper opinion on Lennox. I genuinely cannot give you an opinion on this character. I have not played enough of her. Nobody fucking plays this character. This character, it seems quite strong. Doesn't seem terrible. Her damage early game seems really good. Bottom 3, that's just wrong. She's so bad. Okay. Pie Master. Pie Master, if you were to give a legitimate opinion on Lennox, would you say she is consistent or viable? Solo kind of bad? No, she is not bad. Lennox is good. Pie Master just keeps going to people's like streams and saying that she's bad. But Lennox does play Pie Master plays a very good Lennox. The damage seems good. The CC is there. She can kind of run away. She doesn't seem amazing. But if you get her late game, she seems absolutely obscene. Pie Master's staying a little quiet here. I am curious to see where you would put her. Fishing origins, because okay, the fish. We have to talk about the passive. We just talk about her. Probably low consistent or viable. I don't feel good throwing her in viable. Based on other characters I'm seeing, would you say she stands with the top of the top of the list on a like high tier lobby? I feel like she could on paper, but I haven't played her enough. I can't say anything. More consistent than Magnus? You're underestimating Magnus's potential to run away. She's not as strong as a consistent, but she is though. She is good. You guys seem to be stuck in your own personal bias where you don't understand that this character actually is good, but nobody plays her. Not because it's after nerfs. She's still been fine after the nerfs. I think she worked at both Yukisa, Yukai, Fiora, Isol. Okay, that's fair. ROZZI. ROZZI's gonna be fun one. So this is a newest character on the block. This placement's probably gonna change very, very fast because people are still trying to figure out builds and play styles of her. So, but she's been played a ton from fuck you, biatch. Damn, dude. That's crazy how you just got a permaban. That's crazy, dude. Any percent ban? Yeah, for real. I was looking at his chat log, see what he says. He's literally never once said anything of use. Man came in here once, said he liked my videos, and then he just said, fuck you, biatch. What a nice fella. Hopefully he has a nice day. Okay, so ROZZI. ROZZI is interesting. Because I don't think she's not insane. She's not bad. She is not somewhat viable. I don't think she's consistent though. It's kinda... Dude, I don't know. Consistent's interesting. Consistent, yeah, I can't think consistent to her fucking E works. But she is a crit character. You can just fill her pure crit. And you're kind of just gonna do good. Her damage is good. Her scaling doesn't seem half bad. She doesn't seem bad at all. It's really hard to say until we kind of get more time. I don't want to say consistent just because the E1 though, trash. No, the E1's amazing. Whoa. No, time the fuck out. The E1's really good. The E1's one of the best things of her kit. It's an invulnerability. You can avoid things. It's a great gap closer. She's great. I think right now, she has some issues. Just a little bit of issues. D2 doesn't fucking work. I do think she might... Dude, it's so hard. It's so hard. I don't want to put her consistent. I don't think she's inconsistent. I think she's inviable. I think she's right on viable. Viable is the best. I agree. I do agree with Celeste saying though. I think you give it some time. I think people. What's it called? Yeah, and I agree with Celeste saying. Your E2 is clunky and Q is clunky. And Q dash is clunky. You give it some time. You let people play her a little bit more. Let people figure out routes a little bit more. Get a little better for her. I think. What's it called? I think she will get better. I just want to rate her yet. Well, I mean, she's part of the list, but I know someone's gonna take the tier list out of context. Go to Gen Chat after I put this on YouTube in 24 hours. I'll watch the video and be like, Tom's a fucking idiot. Quote me on this because it's gonna happen. So, yeah, that's how I feel about ROZZI. Probably still needs to, you know, it takes time. Rate her below and viable? No, she's good. Oh, you mean for that? Nah. Shoichi. All right. If y'all been here for any amount of time, y'all know that I am a Shoichi simp. I am probably like one of the only idiots on this damn server who still plays this character. He's interesting. So, his main issue is that his routing is absolutely terrible, and making him work is kind of a pain in the ass. But, here's the thing though. His damage is really, really high, and if you're able to get his build online, he has one of the strongest kits in the game at that point. But he does lack the ability to run away from fights. You really have no way of running away from fights at that point, especially early on. What's it called? Now the thing is, he's kind of just good. Like, he's good overall. His damage is good. He can do some really bullshit things. Like when Shoichi is there, he can do some bullshit things. Things that really pretty much should not be allowed at times. But you do have a lot of games where you're just gonna play him. You're gonna get screwed over because your weapon needs Ash and you're gonna die. He is not an OP character. He is not a consistent character. He's literally the epitome of what consistent isn't. He is a viable character. The character's good. He is not a bad character. He's not here. He is a viable character. Just not ordered, by the way. So yeah. I've trusted the Rhino. Just wanted to make sure you're aware. I am very, very aware. So yeah, that's the tier list. That's how I'm going to conclude it there. This is how I feel about the current solo metagames right now. Yeah.